How's it going, guys? How's it going, everyone? Hey, look, another 740. What? Where did that one come from? I literally don't even, like, is that mine? Did someone just leave it here? The heck, man? Why do these 740s keep showing up? They're just like, you know, hey, I'm here. And then they just expect me to do something with them. It's almost like they think I like voLvoS or something. Seems like a good day for more voLvoS 740s. What's up, guys? This Drifts and Lifts here. Alright, so today's episode, we got some stuff to show you. So I happened to stumble upon another 740. So, yeah, what number is it? 66 or 7? 67. I've owned quite a few of these now, as you guys know, if you've been watching the channel for a while. So the other night, I guess the other day actually, I was having a nap and I woke up to a bunch of notifications on Facebook on the voLvoS 740 940 group, and everybody was tagging me saying that you need to save this voLvoS 740. So I was like, oh no, because it seemed like I was a little bit late. All this kind of had happened about 2 hours ago. So I actually got in contact, I looked at my messages, and my buddy Reese, who was the owner of this car, actually messaged me, and everybody was tagging me saying you gotta come save this car, because Reese, he, I guess, was down in the lower mainland, and he was near Hope, which is 45 minutes east of us, just down the highway, and the car broke down on him. So I guess he got neutral in all the gears, and he didn't have any choice due to circumstances. I guess him and his buddy were going like back to really far away, and he had to call the scrapper. So unfortunately I didn't get to it in time before the scrapper got to it. So the scrapper picked it up. Luckily I was able to get the number of the scrapper, and we made a deal. Unfortunately I had to pay a little bit more money than the scrapper paid Reese for the car, but that's all right. I still got an excellent deal on it, super cheap. $300 if you guys are wondering, for the car. Yeah, now we're here. So the scrapper literally dropped it off in my driveway, and I haven't even really checked out the car, honestly. All I know is that it's NA manual, which is really cool. It's a manual transmission, 1989 740. So I figured I'd wait till Mikey got here with the camera, and we will check it out together, all you guys with me. So yeah, Reese gave me a little bit of info on the car. I guess it's got a few cool parts in it. It's got a few quirks and things like most old 740s do. So yeah, let's take a look. I really like the color. It's a good color. Unfortunately, I did just look under the car, and it has some pretty good rust. So there's some holes in the floor. It's an Alberta car, and that's where Reese lives, I guess. And Alberta's really hard on cars because the winters are really rough. They're super cold, lots of salt. The roads are really aggressive. So it fared pretty well though, honestly. Like usually you don't see rust around here. If you can come take a look, Mikey. Okay, so yeah, usually on 740s you don't really see rust, at least for like all the 740s that I bought in the past, rust on the fenders here. But yeah, so if you look under the car, honestly, like as far as the paint goes, the paint's in pretty good shape. I love this color, it's a great color. I also like that this color oftentimes, almost all the time, came with a blue interior. So these ones have like a super cool blue interior. I wish all my voLvoS had this interior, or the red interior like my wagon has. That's really cool too. Black and gray is just, it's just really plain and boring, you know what I mean? It's really cool when you have like the 80s, 90s, really eccentric blue. But yeah, so as we go in here, let's take a look. It seems like, so the dash is pretty cracked up. It's got like 340,000 kilometers on it. But I hopped in there and the tranny shifted pretty good. So it seemed like a pretty tight tranny. Maybe the transmission's blown, maybe just like the clutch let go or something. Maybe the, I'm not too sure. I haven't even started the car up, so maybe we'll try that after. I'll get a battery, put it on, and we'll see how this thing runs. So let's go around to the front. So as we can see, the, I don't know, from the front end it looks all right, but there's some rust on this hood here. But like whatever, you know, $300 740, that's what we're gonna expect. It has some hood pins, which is pretty cool. I actually have never had a Volvo with hood pins. Kind of sweet. Okay, so this is really awesome. Here's the one goodie that I'm really stoked about. Actually, there's two I can see right here. So it has a couple IPD parts. This chassis brace right here. So this upper, you know, what is it called? Upper chassis brace. Strut tower bar, sorry. This is a discontinued part from IPD, so they don't make those anymore. So if you find these on a 740, it would have been installed like, you know, generally 10, 20 years ago maybe. So kind of cool. That's dope. I have one of these on my wagon, but that's the only other one I've came across. So it's also got an IPD sway bar, as I can see. I feel like it probably has an IPD sway bar on the rear too if I go look. You can check that out after. But yeah, so you can see like there's usually rust around the battery tray. This one's no different. Pretty bad rust around there. It comes on a set of winter tires. What are the shocks? Shocks seem pretty good. I'm stoked these headlights are in pretty nice shape, like the chrome and stuff. I really like the 80s 740 headlights. I know lots of guys in Europe like them too. I think it's a cooler headlight design, just in comparison to the European design. I like these because it makes it look like more of an old school, like American car, kind of just more boxy and bricky and chunky and blicky. It's got a roof rack. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. You know, I'm sorry this happened to you, Reese. I really wish that you could have just like driven your car back home. But yeah, so I think that's pretty much the car, guys. Let's try to get it running here. So I think I have a battery laying around in the garage. We can toss it in and see if this thing actually fires up, because the battery was drained from having the hazards on for like hours or whatever. So let's see what happens. Hey, I don't know if it reaches, man. I just realized I think the nicest thing about this car is this half-eaten set of bugles. Gross, I hate bugles. They're like actually like my least favorite.
They are.
I would much rather have Doritos or any of that sort. But you know what I'd much rather have is a piece of steak. You should put like a block in front of my wheel. Alright, so I don't have a good battery to put in this, so we're going to put it on the charger for a little bit here. In the meantime, I'm going to show you guys the stuff I've been doing to my truck. So I'm really stoked about this, but unfortunately I got a little more work ahead of me before I can drive it. But yeah, so lots of stuff. So as you can see, I got the wheels all shined up. It just looks really sweet. I'm really stoked on how this truck is turning out aesthetically. Just the black. I think like maybe one day I'll actually look into giving it a nice paint job or something. But that's down the road. Yeah, shined up the wheels. If you go back there, we'll show you in a sec. I put a stack on it. So I know I was saying I was gonna do a side pipe or a stack. I went with a stack because it looks the most race truck. Yeah, so lots of stuff under the hood, as you guys can see. So for the air side of things, I got the BorgWarner SX 364.5 installed, as you can see. So we paired that with a 4-inch downpipe, which is leading into the 5-inch stack out the back. We also got it paired with our BD T3 manifold. So shout out to both of the sponsors for this build, Power Driven Diesel and BD Diesel. You know, both super awesome companies. Really stoked to be working with these guys. And if you guys, you know, have a diesel truck and that kind of thing and want some parts, check out their websites. The link to their stuff is in the description of this video. So anyways though, so really sick. This setup with the manifold and the turbo together looks really nice. All right, so the fueling side of things, I already did a bunch of stuff. So I installed the 5x16 injectors from Power Driven Diesel, as well as the 7mm delivery valves. So that's over here. We've done basically all the pump mod stuff. I did the AFC full travel kit. I did the rack plug, as well as the overflow valve. I did the, I've done a lot of stuff. I've been kind of just tinkering on this truck, honestly, on the side. I know we haven't filmed a whole lot about it. I was kind of just gonna like show you guys one day, all right, it's running and driving, and go rip it basically. But yeah, so what else we got done here? I did the 4K governor springs. It's also got the, like I was saying, the upgraded lift pump for the fueling that we're gonna be doing, so it can supply the injection pump with more fuel. So, my big mistake, I installed all the performance mods and the, you know, the fuel and the air side of things, and I took it out for one rip, and I popped the head gasket. Also, I advanced the timing a bunch, so I went from 11 degrees factory timing on this pump. I went all the way to 25, because guys say you make most power kind of around that range. So I went all the way, YOLO'd it, and unfortunately I paid the price because I did not put my head studs in. I was getting lazy. I was already working on the truck for like 8 hours that day. I just wanted to go drive it, and I took it for one good rip, and honestly it was in the rain. I was kind of surprised the head gasket blew that quickly, but I think it may have been already kind of, you know, fatigued and weakened prior to that from all the ripping I did, you know, before I did all this stuff. So anyways, I got a head gasket change in my near future. So as I said, I didn't do the head studs, I didn't do the valve springs, but I have all those parts, so it's just me being lazy. But I don't really mind, because, you know, on a stock factory head gasket and pushing this kind of power and that kind of thing, you are gonna have a failure eventually, and simply just putting studs on a stock head gasket that's never been changed, sometimes guys will have really good luck with it, but other guys will blow head gaskets. So what I'm gonna do is take the head off, and I'm gonna get it O-ringed. So the head's gonna be O-ringed, and then we're gonna put my head studs in, and then it's gonna be bulletproof. It should be good to go from then on. So I'm stoked to do that. When I have that, I'm gonna do the 60-pound valve springs that I have, as well as the machined rocker pedestals to put the head studs in. Yeah, get all the valves adjusted, and then that's pretty much it. As far as the performance mods, the only things I really want to do to the truck also is a one-piece drive shaft and get some traction bars on there. I really want some slapper bar, or traction bar, sorry. Not slapper bar, it's a different thing. But yeah, so the truck's coming along really good. I'm really excited to actually like get it on the road and take it for a rip. Once the weather gets nicer out, there's gonna be guys driving their sports cars a lot, and I just can't wait to go on the highway or, you know, back roads and stuff, and just tool around with some sports car drivers, like, you know, BMWs, Porsches, potentially some mid-range Porsches. This truck should be excellently, like, super fast. It should go really well. You know, I took it for a rip, and it felt like it had insane power, but I couldn't really tell because it was in the rain that day. So yeah, here, if we come around the back, I'll show you guys the stack. Come around to the back, I'll show you guys this stack. So yeah, I just picked this up. It was a 5-inch semi-stack, chrome semi-stack. Yeah, I don't know, I just kind of decided on the height of it. I really like, it's dope having a stack, because you know, when you have a hopped up Cummins truck, you can, especially when you have a single cab, you can open up the rear window, and then you got the full audible ear blasting scream of a Cummins at 4,000 RPM. But yeah, no, it should be pretty fun. It just looks cool too. I just always like the look of a stack on a truck. I think it looks cool, especially with the tailgate net. It definitely has, oh, and the roll pan, it's got the full race truck look, you guys. This is the look we're going for. It's all about street cred these days. And if you're not looking proper, looking race, you know, then you ain't racing. You know? Another thing forgot to mention, guys, I got the South Bend dual disc clutch installed. So I also got I actually got a shop to install this stuff, and this is the only thing I was gonna let anybody touch on this truck that I wasn't gonna do myself. And it wasn't honestly very expensive. I just got them to install the input shaft and shim everything, so it was all perfect. And yeah, so that's all installed, and it's got the beefy input shaft, as well as the 5th gear nut fixed on the NV45 tranny. So this, as far as that goes, should be really solid. I can't see this truck blowing up an NV4500 that easily, just because it's really lightweight as far as trucks go, and it's a 2-wheel drive, so we're going to be spinning tire all over the road. There's not going to be, like, you know, guys with 4x4 trucks with a ton of power, lots of weight, big heavy tires, lots of stress on the tranny, but this is just going to spin the tires so easy that I think the tranny is going to hold fine. But, you know, time will tell. We'll see what happens as I get it on the road and start actually ripping on it, which I'm really stoked to do, by the way, guys. And if you haven't seen the last video, the towgate drift that we did with the wagon, go check it out, because it's an epic video. But that same spot, once I get the Cummins on the road, you can bet your ass that I'm going to be taking this truck there, and we're going to be filming the exact same kind of video, but with a 600 horsepower Cummins, like towgate drifting. Have you got? I don't think I've ever seen. I was looking online, like on YouTube. I could not find a video of a guy in a Cummins truck like properly drifting a cool road. You know what I mean? you guys haven't seen it yet, so I'm gonna try to be the first one to do it. Yeah, the truck's got a welded diff. Like, I'm not messing around here, guys. This truck is purpose built for hoon activities. So anyway, so that's pretty much it. So I got another thing to show you guys in this video. I know it's a long video already, lots of vlogging, but figured it'd be pretty interesting. I didn't just stumble upon one 740, I actually stumbled upon two. So I bought two not 740, a 940. So I actually got two new voLvoS. So we're gonna show you guys the other one. It's actually my girlfriend's old car, and you guys may have seen it in one of my other videos kind of a little while ago. We took it to the track a few times. But that stumbled into my hands. We actually traded. I traded my girlfriend because she got in an accident with it and smashed up the rear end. So it's perfect for me because I wanted an off-road car, as you guys know. So we're gonna show you guys the car, and then yeah, we'll talk about the plans and stuff. And yeah. Alright, if you guys are getting bored of me talking about voLvoS, I'm sorry, I'll keep it quick. But yeah, so here's another one of my new cars. So it's my girlfriend's old 940. It's a 1994. It's a turbo model, which is cool. It's also a non-sunroof model, so it's like the last of the 940s in North America. So it was like a base model. It didn't have any badges on it, but it also had a turbo squirter motor, which was pretty cool. I like these ones. So if we head over here, I'll show you guys. So unfortunately, Sarah got in a little bit of an accident with it. I already kicked out the panel and made it look half decent. The car's just kind of ratty now. It needs a bit of work and stuff. And that car is in a lot better shape. Melanie, if you guys remember that, I picked that up not too long ago, a couple weeks ago. So me and my girlfriend actually traded cars. So she's gonna be driving that as her daily driver now. And then she gave me this. So I'm really excited because I wanted, you know, I've been talking about having an off-road car, and then I got one of my cars and then I actually sold it and stuff, and I've been teasing you guys with some off-road content. This one I'm full set on. I promise you guys, I'm gonna make you a promise here. This one is actually gonna be built into an off-road car, and it's gonna be wicked because it's turbo. So I'm gonna be able to do some cool turbo off-road stuff. So we're gonna do a hood pipe on it, maybe with even like a tractor flapper for more added like you know, off-road effect, you know. You know. Yeah, so I'm gonna actually put different suspension on it, put stock suspension back on it. Actually, not stock suspension. I already have kind of some front suspension that I wanted to put on it. I'll show you guys real quickly once we get back to the garage. But yeah, so I don't know, the car's in like good enough shape. It's perfect for this because it has the big, you know, damage on it now. The bumper's half ripped off and that kind of thing. And yeah, I'm not even gonna show you how it runs because it literally just runs like a stock B230 FT Volvo. I had a boost controller on it, but for some reason it was running maximum boost still with no boost controller. So I don't know what's going on. I think the wastegate actuator is sticking in some way and it's like boosting too much. But yeah, should be a pretty fun little project. So pretty much a wrap up of the video today, guys. Yeah, my poor wagon, hey. So I actually got a line on a motor. My good friend Oliver and my roommate, so he actually bought another one of our friend Turbo Scott's wagon. So he's got a sick turbo wagon now. He had that red 740 turbo. It's a 1990. So he crashed that car at one of our events, and it's been sitting in a field at his dad's house ever since. So I talked Oliver into selling me the motor for like dirt cheap. So in the meantime, because I'm super low on funds right now, also shout out to everybody on Patreon that you know, tossed in some money to get, you know, our projects back up and going and stuff. Really appreciate it. You know, really appreciate the support financially and stuff like that. And the people who bought merchandise as well. So shout out to you guys. You are the reason why we can keep this channel going. And shout out to everybody who just watches the channel in general, because you know, without you guys we couldn't be doing this. So yeah, the wagon, what I'm kind of thinking right now, just to get it back on the road super cheaply, is take that motor, don't even mess with it, don't even put this high compression head and cam setup on it. I'll slap my K-cam that I have in the garage on that motor, and then just slap it on with the turbo that I have and the, you know, obviously the standalone ECU and the injectors and stuff, and then just run it like that, and we'll see how much power it makes. And this way it'll be a lot lower compression with the stock head and stuff, and it'll only cost me like, you know, it won't cost me much to just go get a really quick retune by Dan at Post Haste Performance. So we're gonna see what happens, but yeah, pretty much how she goes. Never have one Volvo. Can never just have two Volvos. You gotta have 3 or 4, maybe even 5. Ooh, look at that. Still though. It's not like, huh, weird, dude. Alright, so before we end this video, I'm going to show you guys one more thing. So, this is actually the budget coilover setup from Miss Huff. So I parted Miss Huff out and scrapped her, obviously, as you guys know. So I had this laying around. So what I did on Miss Huff, I was only running this spring right here, and I was running it on this perch essentially, running a stock top hat. I know it's all cut, so I was trying to get more camber out of it. Also a stock top hat bearing. So in Miss Huff's configuration, it was really low, but obviously this is a Bilstein HD shock, so a pretty decent shock actually. So what I did is, normally the shock would be compressed right down in its operating position, which isn't really good, but it was what it was. So I had another set of springs laying around, so I was able to fit them both on the same tube. So now we got 2 springs, and now the Bilstein HD is essentially maxed out. Should give the car a little more travel. I'm going to be putting these on the 940 for the off-road setup, just because these springs are going to be a little bit stiffer than stock for sure. And one, it's going to be a different spring rate, both of them. Like this one's stiffer than this one, but whatever. So I'm just curious how it's going to work out. It's going to be an experiment, more or less. So yeah, it should be a lot stiffer, so there won't be as much sag just from the weight of the car. So it'll give it a little bit more ground clearance in that sense. And I hope, I kind of feel like because the springs are stiffer, it'll be better for like jumping and stuff, because I know that when you jump a Volvo with stock suspension, more or less the stock springs bottom out right away. So I feel like if we had a stiffer spring and a beefier shock, it might actually be able to kind of cushion it and not bottom out so hard. But it'll all be an experiment. We'll see when we get there. So I'll also be putting stock springs in the rear, lifting it up. I'll put bigger tires on it, strip all the weight out of it. And yeah, I'm stoked to have some fun off-road. It's been a little while. Lots of fun to be had off-road in a Volvo for sure. So anyways guys, that's a wrap up of the video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Good to show you guys all the kind of things that we've been up to, and we're gonna keep on plugging away. So yeah, lots of stuff. There's always stuff to do, so I'll just be slowly plugging away. So yeah, like and subscribe for Volvo bone marrow. Peace out.